my running days are long gone, but fair play to the guy playing football for so many years and successfully to go to running, and he's done an Ironman. That's great. It's great. As he mentioned, you have to, when you play competitive sport for so long, you like to keep involved, and that's his way of doing things. A London Marathon.
Yeah, Fraser, you still got the running shoes there handy. But one thing that we didn't mention with Martin is that there is fundraising going on as well. So if you find him on social media, you can donate to the cause as well.
Yeah, certainly, and it's a great cause as well. So I encourage anyone to have a look at that and help him out for certain.
We are turning our attention to a bit of golf and to a bit of women's rugby with their Six Nations kicking off over this weekend, actually. But before we do that, we're going to start off with the tiny little golf ball. We've got our resident golf expert with us, Katie. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ahead of the mood train, which will be departing in 10 minutes and 18 seconds.
I've got to put my bib and tucker on and my British Rail cap and my sandwiches to get ready for it.
We will be prompt, I promise. You had a catch-up with the sports show, was it last week or the week before?
Last Monday. Yeah.
Ahead of the Masters. Fraser, you were in that conversation as well. Was it the two of you? Was it you and Ben? I can't remember.
No, it was myself and Katie. Katie, the expert, gave me his tips for the Masters. We can maybe replay that. Have we got time to replay that?
Yeah, shall we? I'm not a betting man. You know why now.
Yes, yeah.
I said something like, "No, Rory's had a bad back. I would count him out this year." John Ram, I fancy him.
Yeah.
Rory went up the blocks like a greyhound, and John Ram bombed early on.
Yeah.
Oopsie. But you were saying, Fraser, you were up there and until that final putt went in. Go on, give us your view.
Oh, again, the tournament. Firstly, I thought McIlroy, he's just this fascinating, compelling sportsman and champion, isn't he? You look at this guy; he is so fallible. At one moment, supremely talented. You think that he's capitulating under the pressure. He had that 3-putt double bogey. And then the next hole, he's pulling off a 263-yard 4-iron around the trees on a par 5 into the heart of the green for an eagle putt. And I thought actually that this year was more impressive than last year. Last year will never be forgotten because of the build-up and the emotion and the wait for him and the release at the end. But this year, I thought, of course, his first 2 rounds, he had that clear lead. The lead was right. Every time in that 4th round where he looked to be falling off, he almost had the resilience to put his foot down and say, I'm going again. And yet at the same time, because it's Rory, if that's Scotty Scheffler on the 18th and he needs a 5 to win the Masters, I'm going to bed. Because it's Rory, you think you better hang around here. And what do you know? He slices one onto another fairway. I thought, Katie, what was crucial in the final holes was his recovery play. That up and down on that 16, the par 3, that putt, it looked a nigh on impossible to putt. He got it stone dead, and he just kept it together. He kept the pars ticking over, which was crucial when Scheffler was coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit a key word about a couple of minutes ago there, Fraser. His resilience has been building up strongly over the last few seasons, particularly where he's lost tournaments, he's learned from them. Golf is about having a thread. I always think sometimes the thread can get a bit threadbare when your pressure is tested, but you never actually lose the thread, never cut it. You never lose it completely. And that was his test yesterday. Yeah. Yes, I watched it until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I don't know what you two are, but I watched it. I thought it was never in doubt.
You switched off after 2 rounds.
He shot 73, 71 at the weekend. It's one of the highest winning weekend scores by a Masters winner. And high being not good.
The most remarkable stat for me is we talk about his shape, his play, and his chipping play, and his short game, how it saved him. He was 12 under and 6 clear after 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And out of 72 players who started the Masters, he was 71st for driving accuracy.
Yeah.
I cannot get over
71st.
I just think, before we've got rugby to talk about now.
So you shouldn't look at the stats either.
No, you're right.
It means nothing.
Yeah. I think what Gordon and Kim's take on it, just for me, of all the days in golf, including the Ryder Cup, the final day of the Masters is like no other. I think it is up there with the greatest golf annual occasion, certainly, or the greatest annual golf occasion in the world, because that course for me, it looks on paper, right? If the conditions are good, right, the bunkers are forgiving, the rough's not that tough. There's 4 par 5s, which all big hitters can reach easily in 2. And you can see why on any given day, one of these class players eats up the course, like Cam Young, a 64, Scheffler yesterday, 63, 64, wasn't it? Yeah. And at the same time, that course can eat you up like no other. The margins in the par 5 with the water hazard, the fine margins between being on the green for eagle
Yeah.
and in the water for a double bogey. Just incredible.
It's one of the few golf courses where you literally have to aim away from the pin to approach the ball on the green. I mean, some of those greens are shelves. They're very shallow, quite wide, but you're hitting it at 15th hole, for example, off a slightly hanging downhill lie, 200 and something yards, over water, with water over the back. And you've got 5 yards to land it in, pretty much. I mean, it's a heck of a test. And the thing we haven't mentioned is it was windy towards the end of the afternoon. And wind on that place, I could do with rain, and a bit of cloud, but if it's windy there, it's going to play havoc with you. And that 73 shot on Saturday could have been 78.
Yeah.
And the 71 included 5 birdies.
What come across me, I'm no golf connoisseur like you two, the way you talk about golf, but with McIlroy, what I saw in him was when he was in the lead, he was, the pressure, there's immense pressure on those guys. The field caught up with him. And then he had to dig in deep then. It was the actual mental side of it, because many in any other sport would just say, oh, God, they got me, But no, he dug in.
He didn't lose his
You
thread.
spoke about the thread.
He didn't lose the
thread. His mind, he was on it.
Augusta players are under a pressure that we can't even comprehend.
Oh, yeah.
We can't even go. Yeah. And you saw it. You saw Justin Rose playing beautifully. I felt for Justin Rose playing beautifully until the 10. Cam Smith, seemed to creak a bit in that final 9. But we'll be here next year talking about green jacket number 3. Maybe.
Well, I was going to, KT, is he going to do it next year?
Well, yeah.
Well, he's well able.
Don't tip him. Don't tip him.
Wait a minute. He's got no chance. Absolutely not. How's that?
Yeah, perfect. Katie, you're hanging around. The mood train's going to be with us live from 8 o'clock.
Oh, right.
So we've got 5 minutes for that. Just enough time, Fraser.
No, but for KT, actually, we're going to go on to rugby.
Please
We're starting with Wales women. Sorry.
We're in the annual dogfight.
Yes.
Find themselves back in relegation.
Lisa Neumann and Courtney Kate involved to Wales women on Saturday. Some positive signs. I was covering it with BBC, actually. A lot more cohesive performance than they showed in the World Cup. But another defeat. Scotland with a better side in the second half.
Lecky George as well, right?
Yes, Lecky George at number 10 as well. A very good game, actually. But once Scotland got to grips with the Wales rolling ball, they were the better side. But encouraging signs, just small steps of progress. And it's going to need that because it's 1 win in 11 now.
Yeah, what direction can they go in? Because they changed the coaching team around them. They've got the very successful coaching from
it's
the
not
English
too
League.
dissimilar from the men's side. There is an acceptance. They've had a barren set of results. Wins are hard to come by. You're looking at performance levels being raised, but probably before results will come. It was a better performance Saturday than what they've shown throughout 2025. So you've got to hope that continues.
And don't forget, Scotland reached the quarterfinal of the Women's World Cup.
We know it's essentially a 2-tier competition, the Women's Six Nations. People don't like saying that, but that's the truth. They're not going to compete with England and France. England and France, let's be honest. Hope for it to be more competitive in Ireland and Scotland, keep taking steps forward.
There was one notable absentee for us in Pembrokeshire. There was no Jazz Joyce in the squad, let alone on
the thing for her not to be selected. Look, I think they're perhaps looking to a new guard a bit. I think that might be one reasoning. And she has, of course, her and her partner, they're just a newborn baby, and probably disrupt their playing time a little bit. So I think she'll feature at some point. I'm sure she will.
Do you think that there'll be Pembrokeshire representation in the next match?
Yeah,
in the
I'm sure there will.
Yeah?
I'm sure there will. Yeah.
That is good to know. And the under-18s actually has got Pembrokeshire contingent in the boys, but the girls are also doing well. So the future is bright for Welsh rugby through the age ranges.
I was glad you added through the age ranges there. I say the future's bright and Welsh rugby is quite a statement at the moment. But
there's an EGM happening right now, isn't there?
Don't go there.
It's a long tunnel, but there is some light.
Yeah, there's a glimmer in the distance.
I couldn't put it better than Katie.
Excellent. So another couple of minutes then to round up. So these Women's Six Nations match, who have Wales got next?
They'll play France again, I think, this Saturday in Cardiff.
Well, that will be a tough outing.
That will be a tough.
And because we've got time, Katie, I'm gonna have to start asking you about your beloved Otters. They're waiting to try and get it on the weekend.
Huge
game, go their way.
I wasn't able to go, unfortunately. I was away at a friend's birthday party up in Hertfordshire, which was fun. But another disappointing result. I was talking to Pete earlier on, the guy who runs the line for Narberth, and he was saying they were in the game. He said what they tend to do is they score a try, say Narberth, and they scored 4 tries in that match, by the way, out of 22 points, right? Yeah. They score a try, then they have their heads down. Instead of heads up and going for the next one, it's almost like they go into defensive mode and give the ball away.
We had Tom
So
Powell,
frustrating.
Tom Powell on the show a couple of weeks ago. That was on the back of the win over Brecon,
Yeah,
which we thought would give them a bit of buffering
Yeah.
space. And we spoke about those games with Newbridge and Clangannis being vital in terms of really getting the points on the board there, two teams around them. They've lost both now with tough fixtures to come. There must be growing concern there. They've got games in hand on Cardiff Met, but it should be noted Cardiff Met's book season
Of course,
is finished.
Oh,
So they're now
yeah,
able
yeah.
to put everything into the Saturday League. So they are strong in these last few weeks.
Yeah.
And Narberth have got Beda, who are top of the division as well.
Neath to come as
And
well.
Neath as well.
Hot news, by the way. I hear that the last game of the season against Brecon might not be on because Brecon are supposed to be going on a tour.
Oh.
Now, if that is so, Narberth could get 4 points for not playing it.
Okay.
Imagine that, how important that could be.
gosh.
Like another Newcastle Emlyn game.
That'll go down well.
Oh, imagine that. That's what I hear.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see how that. We should mention Old-Tenby, their title hopes opener. No, I think they're lost on the weekend as well.
I
I think
notice
that's
that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. That was it's a game they were expected
Yeah.
to win, to be honest with you.
And
They
Milford
lost by a couple of
Milford
points.
beating
didn't they?
Nayland quite comfortably in a derby. Didn't expect that. I thought
No.
a tough battle. The Nayland after play
Nayland,
80 minutes might have scuppered them after recent events. I think.
Yeah. There was a few concussions in that game. The Evans boys both went off. Owen and yes,
They lost some players early on.
and they
didn't they?
they did.
These teams have had a
But a big game this Saturday, mate.
Yeah, huge.
Harford West go to Milford.
Yeah.
So that will be very interesting.
I'm
There you
sure
go.
that last minute postponement won't get mentioned at all when they go and hell for leather at each other. Those
Yeah.
two. Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Huge Harford West as well. Their promotion
Of
bid.
course
Tom,
it is, yeah.
the locomotive is in the station.
I-
Can you these boys up?
I did just hear the beep beep. We're coming up to the exciting end of the season in football, rugby, and everything else for these winter sports. And the cricket ovals are looking gorgeous around the racecourse. We'll be transferring to that very shortly. In the meantime, the locomotive, the mood
It's
train.
like being a teenager again with the guard to just stop messing around and get out the station.
The mood train up next with Kim Thomas here on Purist Radio. Thank you, gents.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Pure West